Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Good morning, people. Good morning. We are keeping it nice and casual here today at In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, before we get started, there's a couple things that I would like to say to you. As you all know, I try to keep it all the way as real as I possibly can with you. I want us to remember, I need us to remember to continue to support each other, support small businesses, in particular, support Black businesses. In this current economic climate, there are so many of us out here who are either new or maybe even established, but we're still out here trying to make a way, trying to make a living for our families. And right now, there is so much uncertainty in the world that we really need each other. We really need to support each other. And I don't know about you, but that's exactly what it is that I'm doing. I am making a point every day of trying to support small Black-owned businesses in any way that I possibly can. So that's my spiel on that for today. Just support each other. That's all that I'm asking of you to do. The second thing I would like to share with y'all, and I'm laughing, I know it, because honestly, I am laughing to keep from crying, and not necessarily in a I'm hurt kind of way, but these last few days, I have been sad because I am feeling the weight of the world. And I shared this with someone just recently. I need one of those long hugs that just make you feel like everything is going to be okay. You all know me by now. You know that I carry people's feelings, people's struggles internally, and I really don't even know how not to do that. And quite honestly, maybe that's my lot in life. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to keep walking in that path. My purpose is what I believe that it is, that I'm here to help other people, not necessarily here for myself. And I'm okay with that. But I just need you to know that I am giving myself grace, because I need it right now. And I encourage you to do the same. If you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling sad and you're not exactly sure why, reach out to someone who you can trust, talk with them, share your feelings, and at least find an outlet, because we need it. Those of us who are being strong for everybody else, we sometimes need someone to be strong for us. So in my case, if you are that person that's going to come and give me that hug that I need, bring it on. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, because right now, that is exactly what I need. So let's dive on into today's episode while I still can, because I'll start thinking about the things that people are going through. Let's try to shift gears. All right. So I spent the last few days thinking this through and taking some notes. So you'll see possibly me shuffling with note cards and just kind of reading through some of the thoughts that I have had based on the many conversations that have been going on, either on the phone, in my messenger, on my social media platforms, because people are reaching out to me, not just about economics, but I don't know if you all know that whenever there are difficulties in economics, there are also difficulties in relationships. and not just established relationships or marriages, but also in relationships that have just started. You've just started to date. You've just started what some may call the talking phase. So let's talk about this. People are concerned about a few things. So we're going to start with the first one. I received a message that turned into a phone call, and the gist of it is social media. Social media, and I know we use it all of the time because it can be a wonderful tool for us. But sometimes it's so very difficult for people to understand what's actually real on social media or what's being made for content, for growth, for earnings, because a lot of people are earning money on social media. So the topic here is that social media is giving people in general a false sense of, and some have said, the illusion of options when it comes to dating. So in my conversation, it was said that what's happening is people are seeing this over-glamorized view of dating. They see people posting clips of where they're all dressed up to the nines and they're at these fancy restaurants, and people are spending X number of dollars. Or you will see people, I'm going to try to say this as nicely as I possibly can, but you will see what some may refer to as an average man or a woman with these people that folks dream of, who have just flown them off to this location or that location, and everything is just absolutely hunky-dory. And for those of us who realize that some of those things are actually creations to draw attention or to get, people to join our pages and things like that, we understand that all of this isn't necessarily reality. But for others, they may see it and believe, oh, this is what dating should look like for me. I have the options of this gentleman over here, this gentleman over there, this woman over here, this woman over there. So we have this illusion of I can have anybody I want. That's just kind of how the conversation went. I can have whoever and whatever I want at all times. And while that might be true for some, because some do believe that to be true for themselves, I need us to be realistic about exactly what is going on, where we really absolutely stand, because we're not always in that space of where everyone who sees you wants to be with you, wants to date you, wants to be in your space. And I know, y'all, you're probably going to get mad at me for saying these things, but we need to be real about looking for the person who is our person. So many people have an unrealistic expectation about how dating should look, what happens during dating, what happens once you're finally in a relationship. People tend to think that there's never, ever any work involved, and that is far from the truth. People, I hear them saying that, oh, this happened, and that was an automatic red flag. But guess what? How many of you, don't get mad when I say it, are actually, by your own definition, a walking red flag, yet you would like for someone to see the value in you? You would like for someone to say, hey, I would like to date him, or I would like to date her, Yet you as the individual, as soon as one teeny tiny little thing happens, you're out of there. Where's the fairness in that? So that's what I'm asking of you. If you are saying, I can have any person I want, and you are also saying, oh my goodness, this teeny tiny little thing is a red flag, yet by definition, as I said before, you are the actual red flag that you have described, I think there has to be some self-reflection there. I think that for each of us, we need to be real about who it is that we actually are, because sometimes we forget to look in the mirror. So when we're looking at social media and we're seeing all of this beauty and this joy and everything's just amazing, remember, while some of that may be real, some of it isn't, and we really need to look in the mirror, do some self-reflection, and determine how we are going to move forward. Because as we're looking for our person, we need to also wonder and decide, is that person aligned with where it is that you are or where it is that you're trying to go? Does he or she feel you? Not F-E-E-L, but F-I-L-L. Does he or she feel you? Because as we're thinking about it, remember the episode I asked, who is pouring into you? That is what that means. Your person should be filling you up with support, with love, with care, being in your corner, aligning with you, and vice versa. That is what we should be doing for each other. So again, keep it real. Keep it real. Understand where reality lies and where the illusions actually are. Now, this one's a good one because I got a phone call and is asking me all the time, why are you still single? You are far too cute to be single. What is wrong with these guys? Do they not see you? And that always tickles me because honestly, I don't want a guy or a man who only sees my outer beauty. Because honestly, I really believe in my heart of hearts that what's on the inside of me outweighs 1,000% of how people may perceive that I look on the outside. And I think that's what's more important. I think that whomever he is that wants to be in my life will see that, will see the inner me, will see the care, the love, the support that I give. They will see that I am there at all times. When they need me for something, they won't just see the shell of me, the outside of me, the superficial things that people might see from a distance, and that might draw them to seek a conversation with me. And the same with others. But with regard to me, I just need it to be internal. I need them to see me as a whole. And that's a question I would ask. What do you see when you see me? And if the response is just about how I look, or what do you feel when you think of me? And if again, it's just about how I look, that's not my person. And I would say the same to you. If indeed someone is seeking time with you that they say would like to be leading to dating and possibly a committed relationship, find out if they truly see you for who you are, for you as a whole, not just, as some say, your face card or the rest of you, the shell of your body, your silhouette. Let's keep it real. You all know that sometimes people are visual when they're looking to find a person. But I challenge you to look beyond that. I challenge you to look at more, because that's what I'm hoping will find me. You heard that? Will find me, because I'm not looking for him. He is currently looking for me, and he will find me. As I know what the word says. Y'all know me already. Don't start. He will find me. Now, I will say this, sir. If you have found me and you are confused, I'm sorry, I gotta laugh, and you are confused or you are afraid for whatever reason because you've been hurt, or you think that your finances are not where they should be, or you have a vision of what you want your life to be and it's not quite there yet, I say this to you. Keep pushing. But come see me, because those are things for me that you can easily work through. You just need a little support, someone to be in your corner. I got you. I got you. I got you. Now, this one I was talking to in this same conversation, because of course everybody wants to know, why am I still single? We had that conversation. But then I said to them, part of the reason that I'm still single, and I hear other people say that they are still single as well, is because people say they want something real. They talk about it all the time. They talk a good game. They say, I want a woman just like this. And they will describe that woman to the T. Or I want a man just like this. And it's not just about his or her looks. They will actually describe all of those characteristics that would make a great partner. Yet when they find said partner, just as they have described, they run from it. And it tickles me in a way, because they always end up giving me a call or chatting me up in my messages, asking for advice. But then I return with, was he or she all of those things that you said that you wanted? 99% of the time, the answer to that is yes. And then I ask, well, what happened? They often say they were afraid. They were afraid of it. Some even say that it seemed too good to be true. Seemed too good to be true. Now, let me say this. Everything doesn't have to be a fight. Everything doesn't have to be a challenge. And yes, I've shared already that there'll be times that your relationship won't be a bed of roses, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to be a fight. Just because you're not used to something being easier than it was in the past doesn't mean it's too good to be true. Y'all better stop fumbling these people. Stop letting go of the person that you know is for you. Because, as I told somebody, you have got to look at the person and look into what you were asking to receive. And people tell me all the time, well, I prayed about it. Then if you prayed about it, I need to ask you why you're worrying about it. And I'm going to laugh, because I have to say that to myself as well, because I find myself sometimes worrying about the things I've prayed about. And I have to remind myself that, girl, if you prayed about it, you can't worry about it. You just can't. Give the God and let it go. Y'all stop running from these people that you ask for. Now, as I continue in this same conversation, it goes a little something like this, because I in turn asked them about their feelings about love. What is it that makes them shy away from it or move in a different direction? They said, I'm not afraid of love, or not afraid to be in love with this person, the person that they were seeking. And that kind of tickled me, because there was a point in which there was someone I was quite interested in. And I remember having a conversation similar to this one. And y'all know I keep it real. I wanted to know if this person was afraid of being in love again. And they said no, they were not afraid of love. They were not going to run from love. And they were also not afraid of loving and being in love with me. Now, as I process these things, the conversation that I had some time ago and the recent conversation that I had, I find it sometimes hard to believe. I know, look at my face. I find it sometimes hard to believe when we know who a person is, truly who they are, knowing that none of us, absolutely none of us, are perfect, never will be, and have all those things that you say you desire in a person. Yet it doesn't progress into anything. So again, I say to us, we have to look in the mirror and be honest about what we say that we want. Because when it shows up and we push it away, is it truly what we want? Or is it what we have convinced ourselves that we want? I suggest that we look a little further than what we want and look into what we need. Okay? As I go on and talk with this person on the phone, and I think back on some previous conversations that I've had, this person says to me that he says to the young lady that she's amazing and she would be an absolute great fit for him, and vice versa. I'm listening to this conversation that we're having because I really am trying to listen to understand. Because without doing that, I can't give him the kind of advice that he's seeking. Yet, as I'm listening, he hits me with this, and it just blew me out of the water. He says, I don't really want advice. I just want you to listen. Because honestly, I need to hear my silly self say it out loud. So he recognizes that what he was saying in the moment and to her wasn't coinciding or cohesive to what he said he wanted. Everything about this woman is what he asked for, said he wants. He even went as far to say that what he needs. Believes she's amazing. They would be a great fit for each other. Yet guess what? He is absolutely petrified. And y'all, I understand that. I understand that because, as you all know, I dated for a long time, and that relationship turned out to be the biggest lesson of my entire life. And it took me a while to even decide that, hey, I want to get back out here and try again, at least make myself available for the opportunity to present itself to me. And I have done that, I would say, unsuccessfully so far, because as you all know, I'm not booed up, as you want to call it, but I am also not afraid. I am hopeful. I am still honest with myself about the fact that I am still healing to some regard. And in this conversation that I was having yesterday, I listened and waited and then asked if I could give some input, not any advice, but just a little input. And he said that I could give some input. He said, but don't you judge me. And I said, I won't. Just remember that we're all a work in progress. We're all still healing. Give yourself some grace. Give an opportunity for this to work. Don't self-sabotage it. And let me tell you how I know this. So many of us, myself included, we know how to show love to someone else. But where we have the struggle, and this is what I told him, where we have the struggle falls within knowing when someone else loves us, is in love with us. It's hard for us to believe it. And that takes us back to our previous experiences and how those have made us feel. We can't hold on to those things, you all. We can't. While we are still healing, give those people who are showing us love, showing us, not just saying it, because you know how I feel about that. Words have to be supported by actions. But as I'm talking with him, just reminding him, if she's everything that you say that she is, it is okay to embrace it. Give it an opportunity to grow. Give it an opportunity to be exactly what you said you wanted it to be. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. So we made it through that conversation, and he felt better about it and promised me that he would allow it to grow for the two of them. So hopefully I have an update about that in the weeks and months to come. But I have one more topic I want to talk about. I'm going to have to try to make this one really, really quick, because this one has been all over social media, and I actually posted it in my group. I have a Facebook group called In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. In case you're ever on Facebook, you want to be a part of it, please do so. I posted this question because I am having men and women coming to me upset, with their feelings hurt, because they have been seeing someone, dating in some instances, but it's particularly spending time with someone, and not just in their space hanging out, but they have also been intimate with these persons. And after sometimes weeks or months, the person shares with them that they don't think that it's going to work out for them. And that part is not what really bothers them. But the question became, why didn't you choose me? Right? Why didn't you choose me? Because people want to know, what did I do wrong? How can I correct this for the next person? And I need to say this before I finish this comment. It's not necessarily that you did anything wrong, because what this led to, and I am hearing it more and more and more times, which also led to an entirely different phone call on yesterday. People are saying to the other person, you are great. You are wonderful. And I did choose you. You just don't know that you've been chosen. I just know and care enough about you that I don't want to hurt you in any way. And in turn, back away from the dating, the relationship, or whatever they have decided to call it in those moments. And it has left people confused. Now, I can see why you would be confused. If someone is saying to you that you are amazing, that you're a good person, or that you're a blessing, because I've heard that before myself, that you are a blessing, yet as you're processing it and you're hearing and receiving those words, you're thinking to yourself, well, if I am all of those things, why aren't I all those things for you? And so that's what's being asked of me. And I am telling y'all, I am struggling with that one. Normally, I have a very specific view of it, but I'm struggling with it for a few reasons. One, because I'm not sure if the person who's saying you're everything that they want and need really mean that, or even if they are sure themselves what it is that they want and need. And that's an entirely different episode of the podcast. But without judging anyone, we kind of have to process who it is that we are and understand that in that moment or that time, it's really not about you, because again, you have done nothing wrong. They're describing you as this awesome person, yet in this moment, it simply isn't where they want to continue. And while that hurts, I know that it does. We have to try to accept that and move on. And let me just tell you, I know it's hard. It's hard because if you're like me and you overthink things, then you're spending time trying to process where it went wrong, what happened. And honestly, as I said already, you didn't do anything wrong. I wouldn't worry about why you were not chosen, because that's the word that's flying around social media right now. You were not chosen. You were not chosen. You were not chosen. Not necessarily so. You are all those things that they said that you were. They're not ready to receive them. They are not ready to receive them. It doesn't mean that you're not wonderful, because you are. So I wouldn't worry about not being chosen, because this is what I say about that. For me, I am that song on the B-side that you skipped and later on found out that it was fire. That is who I am. So if you take that stance and knowing exactly who it is that you are, don't worry about not being chosen. Because 9 times out of 10, as I've heard so many people say, they will try to spin the block. Then it's up to you to decide if indeed it's what you really want. But don't be discouraged. Don't you all be discouraged. Don't worry about not being chosen. Don't worry about what's going on social media. Be real with yourself. Stay prayed up. Continue to be the beautiful inner you. And your person, wherever he or she may be, they'll find you. They will find you. Y'all know my motto. If you're running from it, stop running. Let love win. Let love win. Again, you can reach me at any time at drtammy70@gmail.com. If you're interested in my book or any of my other services, you may find me on Instagram at Dr. Tammy Reginelli, and the same on Facebook at In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. And again, thank you for joining us today on the podcast at In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Let love win. Let love win. Much love.